Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new spoiler review here at Max Hawks Movies. And today we're going to break down the season finale, episode 6 of the Marvel MCU Disney Plus show, Miss Marvel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell. I do movie reviews, these type of TV show reviews, a box office breakdown show every single Monday, as well as other movie and TV show rankings. So please subscribe and ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the 6-episode series of Miss Marvel on Disney Plus? Is it one of your favorite, least favorite MCU projects? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please like the video, guys. That's the thumbs up button. Really helps support the channel. It really does help with that, if you know it or not, with the algorithm. It really makes more people be recommended to this video. So please like the video. That's how you support the channel the best way. So this is kind of the wrap-up series as well for Miss Marvel for me as well. I've done each and every week here the last 6 weeks. Our 6-week journey is over with Miss Marvel. And, we just had Thor: Love and Thunders. We really get 1 month kind of off until She-Hulk comes out next month. But so let's break down this episode. Then I'll give you my overall, just general review of the show at the very end with my recap, my thoughts on it, where it stands for me on Marvel television so far, and all those things. So this episode is, we're back in Jersey. We were in, I think it was Pakistan, Karachi, the last couple of weeks. And we are back now here in Jersey, where Kamala finds Cameron and Bruno at the very beginning of the episode. And they're trying to protect him from damage control, who are stopping at nothing to take him in, with Agent Deaver being the factor there. So we get the reuniting of, first of all of now Kamala's family knows, the dad, not just the parents now, and not just the mom now her dad knows, her brother and her sister-in-law now know. Bruno, Nakia also now know. And that's kind of why I was so happy they went back to where they were in the first 2 episodes, which was the reason why this show worked, was kind of the high school childhood friendship charm and the authenticity of Arab, Muslim authenticity here in the show. The dynamic between Kamala, Bruno, Nakia, and then now you add in Zoe this episode was really good. Laurel Marsden plays Zoe, but really the big 3 of Kamala, Bruno, and Nakia. They are a great trio that deserved way more screen time because they were really in together the first couple episodes, the first really 2 or 3, really the first half of the show. And I was actually really enjoying the first half of the show, even though I did feel like 3 was easily the worst episode of the 3. And then I feel like once we went to Karachi, the show really slowed down. But it was nice that we went right back to episode 6. Kamala has her new suit from the comics, and we find out that it is Kamala's mom that made her this outfit, which is actually a really nice and emotional turn. Again, not just is the friendship good, but Kamala's family is so awesome to look. It's so awesome to watch. Her dynamic with her mom is my favorite, but her dynamic with her dad toward later in the episode, where Kamala means Marvel in, I think it's Muslim or Hindi. I could be totally wrong. I'm so sorry if I'm missing that. But that's what leads her to being her little Miss Marvel. So her dad kind of gives her name, and her mom makes the suit, which I find was really cool. I think it would have been tiresome if we kept seeing another teenage superhero hiding away from their parents, and their parents are just not cool with that. I like the parents, maybe they're not cool with her being in dangerous situations, but they want to support her, which I feel like was one of the stronger arcs of the show, how Kamala really thought she was on an island in the beginning of the episode, kind of, again, an imaginary world. And it's nice that everyone kind of came together towards the end of the series. A great character arc for Kamala, how she really was a loner. Even though she had Bruno and Nakia, she really was a loner, seeing stuff, being in her own universe. And the fact of everything kind of coming together towards the end was really great. Now, obviously, it was the escape Kamran. One of the bigger positives that this is the best usage of CGI with Kamala's powers in the show so far. Now, I do think that Kamran's, while the colors are cool because they are the same like in the comics, some of these times the powers, like the way the CGI looked in the series, including some of Kamran's in this episode, kind of felt like Spy Kids CGI. And it sadly seemed like some of the episodes just felt kind of cheap, which I'll get to towards the end, but not in this episode. They went all in on Kamala's powers, and it looked awesome. Again, the outfit looked great. Aman Vellani continues to prove why she is going to be one of the headliners, I think, for the Young Avengers in the next 5 to 10 years for the MCU. she's really, really fantastic in the series. So the overall, they're trying to escape Zoe, Kamala, Bruno, Nakia, and then Kamala's brother. They're all coming together trying to escape the high school from the DODC, the Department of Damage Control. And our main man from the DODC, he is not happy. He is just not happy with Agent Deaver. And he's like, you got to come in. We're at a high school. You're not shooting any of these kids, you know, those types of situations at a high school, which I felt was a little bit weird for this to be a storyline in the show. With the whole idea of like, why would you shoot a kid? I don't even get into it. I don't even say it out loud. It's making me very sad. So this then leads to this whole chase of the DODC. Cameron's just kind of out of control. And of course we get a almost kiss scene, which I was not excited for, between Cameron and Kamala. I've really been rooting for Kamala to be with Bruno this whole series. And all three of her kind of love interests are still in play. The Red Dagger, Bruno, and Cameron. I'm just not a fan of the Kamala relationship. Bruno literally does everything for everyone this episode. Bruno's my favorite. Honestly, him and Kamala are my two favorite characters by a lot in this series. Bruno doing the dancing to distract the DODC was hilarious. And I felt bad for Bruno. And then when he saw them about to kiss and he kind of stopped it, I kind of felt bad. I think they've been making it because Bruno does everything, supports the family. It's like another member of the family. I know that Kamala doesn't see him as that. I hope if we get a season 2, or if Bruno, I don't know if Bruno's going to be in the Marvels, but hopefully this dynamic stays because they're the strongest dynamic in the entire show. So as I said, this all leads to the big shootout where the DODC are trying to shoot and try to basically kill both Kamala and Cameron. And that obviously does not go well, but Cameron kind of loses control again. And this is where Kamala's like, oh, you got to go where the Red Dagger told me. I know you guys don't like each other, your ancestors, but you got to do this. So Cameron leaves. So I don't know when we'll see Cameron again. He could be honestly a villain moving forward. He is just so out of control in this series. And he does kind of believe what his mom did for him. So we'll see where that goes. But we end the series with them escaping. And I also love that the whole town kind of rallied around Kamala. We kind of only see this with Miles Morales, where in even the Spider-Man PS4 game and the end of the Spider-Verse movie, how that city was all about Spider-Man, then they really got behind Miles. I love the fact that they got behind a Muslim, Hindi, Arab superhero, a female superhero. It felt just cool to see this on the screen. I'm sure a lot of people never thought this day would come, but I think, again, you can say whatever you want. I'm so happy that this is about damn time, let's just say, that this has happened. And Iman Vellani is the perfect person to represent all these different cultures, being a female superhero, all these different things. She's just check marking off the board. She's an amazing, amazing actress, doing great authentic, but she's also just a great actress in general. So seeing her get this opportunity is just so amazing for her first ever acting job. She definitely delivers. But we end the episode with the two biggest things that the whole show has brought to us. The biggest problem for a lot of people is that this show doesn't have a lot of spoilery things to talk about on a week-to-week basis. But the end of this episode does, because once we have this Bruno, Nakia, and Kamala dynamic towards the end of the episode, before Bruno goes to Caltech and they get in this car and have some fun, Bruno's like, well, I've been looking in your genes and you have a mutation. And then for like 5 seconds, the 1997 X-Men, the animated series theme music plays. So it looks like instead of being an Inhuman, like in the comics, Kamala is a mutant. Now, I don't think the interesting thing is that she's never, ever interacted with the X-Men in the comics. And again, she is not a mutant in the comics. This is all new territory. Now, I know a lot of people who are very pushing for the X-Men, or very like X-Men diehards, or even Kamala diehards, and are not happy with this discovery. For me, I'm just gonna let the MCU tell me, and just not just deal with it, but hopefully see what they can do with it. I'm not gonna say, oh, this is a bad move off the bat. I have to see where this goes. I think the biggest problem with Kamala right now is that she feels like she fits into too many things going on at the same time. She's connected with, now she's a mutant, so she's connected with the New Mutants of the MCU. She's connected now with the Bengals, connected with the 10 Rings logo back in episode 3. She's connected towards Captain Marvel and her whole thing, and she's also connected really with, I think, just more witchcraft related things like Wanda, it feels like she's connected to 4 completely different things. And I really hope that in the Marvels, they really focus on her character fitting in more with 1 or 2 particular things, not like 3 or 4. She feels like she's kind of all over the place, which is not her fault, obviously. And I love this character. I hope they really focus in on what she should be in. If it's X-Men, if it's in the Captain Marvel stuff, what they choose should be interesting. But that was a cool moment for the music to be playing. And I know a lot of people were not happy about this. I actually kind of like that she's a mutant. If you're not going to go with Inhumans, the question is, this whole bangle thing was genetic. So the question is, why does she need to be a mutant if this bangle really symbolizes the whole family? So we shall see. But we also get a post-credit scene of the series, and we finally get the Captain Marvel cameo with Miss Marvel laying in her bed. Kamala's laying in bed. She gets poofed, and it's Brie Larson. Captain Marvel now is in the body. Now, normally in the comics, Kamala does shapeshift into Captain Marvel. Now, I'm not sure. I think a lot of people who have no idea of the comics probably have no idea what even happened in this situation. If she switched places with Captain Marvel or she shapeshifted, we shall see. Because it did seem like Captain Marvel was kind of looking around the room. But we got a Captain Marvel cameo, and then it says Miss Marvel will return in the Marvel. So for me, this was a pretty satisfying finale. I think back to form from the first half of the series. And I'm still going to go positive on the show. I had a really good time with the show. I do think that episodes 4 and 5 really went off the tracks to me. A lot of things in the show were not explained. And I feel like for a lot of people who are not familiar with the comics might not get too much out of the show, or maybe not get a lot, but maybe don't know quite what's going on with the show. I think they introduced a lot of great characters, especially the Khan family and Bruno, just great characters. And even though the show did not do well from a viewership point of view, the least watched MCU TV show to date, clearly they have big plans for Kamala. She will be in the Marvels, directed by Nia DaCosta next year, which will also have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Nick Fury, who are the current people in the cast. It's supposed to be coming out July of next year, so we have to wait 1 whole year now for more Miss Marvel, but it's in post-production, so Comic-Con is next weekend, so the hope is that next week we'll get some more clarity on the rest of the future of the MCU. But my overall review of the show, I am positive on the show. I don't think this is the best Marvel series so far, but I also do not think that it is the worst MCU. It is a breath of fresh air. And it feels like a totally different show than a lot of Spider-Man Homecoming type vibes with the high school vibe to it. But I enjoyed the show. I loved the first 2 episodes. I thought we were on a great start, leading towards being my favorite MCU show. And I think 3 through 5 really lost its way, and then 6 kind of helped it get back to at least a positive for me. So it's more of a middle of the pack. I still think that for me, Loki, WandaVision, and Moon Knight are, for me, my 3 kind of top tier MCU shows they've done so far. Miss Marvel for me is a really good show. I did like it over Falcon and the Winter Soldier, for example. So, and I'm this and What If are kind of on the same page for me. So I like this show. I did not love this show. Like, I don't think it's the best MCU show, but I did like this show. So thanks for joining me this past 6 weeks here doing reviews of Miss Marvel. Please like the video, subscribe. I will do a video next week when the Marvel Comic-Con panel happens, breaking down the announcements, what I'm excited for, what I'm not excited for the future of the MCU. And of course, next month, I'll be starting my reviews of She-Hulk, which is the next MCU show coming out. I'll leave my review of the past Miss Marvel episode, my final episode of Moon Knight review, my other TV show reviews, and my subscribe. I'll see you guys.